sa lalim at ganda ng ating kultura at diwang makabayan, sa mga salita at pahina. Sa tulong ng mga guro at manunulat ng panitikang Pilipino, halina tuklasin ang yaman ng ating panitikan, ang pamana ng ating lahi. Kasama ang kagawaran ng Filipino ng Pamantasang Ateneo de Manila. Ito ang Sari Sari.
Justcom Music Ministry. Music that uplifts the soul. Follow Justcom PH on Spotify and Justcom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
The hottest tracks from this side of the globe. This is Amplify Asia on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Mamangha sa lalim at ganda ng ating kultura at diwang makabayan, sa mga salita at pahina. Sa tulong ng mga guro at manunulat ng panitikang Pilipino, halina tuklasin ang yaman ng ating panitikan, ang pamana ng ating lahi. Kasama ang kagawaran ng Filipino ng Pamantasang Ateneo de Manila. Ito ang Sari Sari.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
Coming up next, SPARC, Spouses, Parents, Children on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Katipunan.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay at tenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayon, dunong at tulog. Lipat na Blue Eagle, kaning giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan.
What keeps a family shining? It's that spark, the bond between spouses, the wisdom of parents, and the dreams of children. And guess what? We're turning that spark into a show. Introducing SPARC, Spouses, Parents, and Children. Only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. A program filled with real talk, life hacks, inspiring stories, and yes, even the fun and laughter that keep families strong. So tune in, light up your day, and let's celebrate what makes every family shine. SPARC, Spouses, Parents, and Children. Only on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Your campus, your community, your spark of inspiration.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to another episode of SPARC Podcast, all about marriage and parenting through the eyes of spouses, parents, and children. This program is brought to you by CBX Network, Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM, and the Discovery Weekend and the Love Institute. Welcome also to all our audience on the radio, on YouTube, on Facebook, and we're broadcasting here live at the JESCOM building of the Ateneo de Manila University. So welcome, welcome. It's already our 7th episode and we're so excited. I am your host, Coach Aiza Caparasta Bayoyong, always keeping you company on a Monday morning. Hopefully, traffic is not that horrendous today, but if it is, stay tuned and hopefully you'll be entertained while on the road. Yes. So for our topic today is very much needed nowadays, and hopefully more parents will be listening in. It's called Roots and Wings, Raising Children with Heart and Purpose. So with all the things happening around the world today, we hope that we, the formators of the next generation, are doing our part to form children who will really look after not just our country, but our planet and everything that's in it, because that is our charge from the Lord anyway. Take care of my creation. So, I am so privileged to have this morning, kahit medyo last minute ang kanilang invitation dahil kami po lahat nagkasakit. And congratulations, by the way, to our producer Jay who just got married. Congratulations. Best wishes, Jay and Olay. San Luis, Mr. and Mrs. Woohoo! Hope you're tuning in. We're praying for you. And for this morning, I am so blessed, super blessed, this October Monday to have with us one of the more senior late chaplain couple of the Discovery Week. And our mentors are, personally, me and my husband are mentors also. They've been inspiring us in so many ways. But in the past, Tito Jojo was a full-fledged HR director, but now proudly a full-fledged farmer, caring for the environment and also assisting the farmers, the Filipino local farmers, to have better deals and, have better livelihood. And Tita Ditsi, on the other hand, has been working with the Emmaus, and they're both active at the Our Lady of Pentecost Parish, working so hard together with the Diocese of Antipolo. But of all the hats they wear, the Diocese of Cubao, but all the hats they wear, I guess they're proudest being almost married for 55 years this year, right? Yeah, hindi pa ako buhay nung ko nasa sila. Correct. And raising 4 wonderful children. First of which is Dr. TP. She has a show every Monday evenings here also in Radyo Katipunan with 3 kids with her. And Father John G., who is the Vice President for Basic Education of the Ateneo de Manila. And JP also with 2 boys, and their youngest is Joel, 47, with 3 boys. So all in all, they have 7 boy grandchildren and 1 girl grandchild. So please welcome over at SPARC, Tito Jojo and Tita Ditsi Sumpayco. Please greet our audience.
Good morning, everyone. We hope to be able to share during this 1 hour, and thank you for listening to SPARC.
Good morning. Good morning. We hope you have a good time listening to us and also trying your best to manipulate, to see, and to listen to whatever we tell you. We tell you. Not perfect, but always with effort.
Yes, all of this, magkwentuhan lang talaga tayo. So, also with us this morning is one of the products. Since we'll be missing his mom today, I am happy to have him as the representative, not just of the Dionisios, but of his generation, of the one that has been raised, hopefully with a heart of service. Not hopefully, talagang with a strong heart of service. In fact, he works on the regenerative economy transition with indigenous people and farmers and fisher folk through ecosystem restoration, food security, agroforestry, through his organization called the MAD Travel. MAD Travel stands for Make a Difference Travel. He has been given so many awards, he and his team, including Department of Tourism Sustainability Award, WWF Force of Nature Award, recently, Circular Economy Award, Good Design Award from Japan, and many, many more. But the biggest of which probably is that he is a proud graduate also of the Ateneo de Manila University and the eldest of 3 brood of the Dionisio family. Please welcome Raf Dionisio.
Hello, good morning, and thank you for having me here. I'm excited to share and also excited to learn, actually.
Yes, thank you. The Sumpaicos and the Dionisios, we have a powerhouse cast this morning. So happy. And to start it off, of course, with everything that's happening in the world today, how important is it for you, especially for parents, no? And for the parents that you will be talking to, that we are raising children who are not just resilient, responsible, but really with the heart of service. I know this is a thing in Ateneo, right? Men for others. But for the rest of the world, why is that something very crucial?
I guess we're away from it. We're the parents of baby boomers. No? And the ones you are talking about are the Gen Zs, the millennials.
The Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas are the children
Yes,
now.
but it's always the seed that comes from the watering and the planning and the everything else, no? So we take care of the seed. We have taken care of the seed, and with that, it will bloom. It will bloom. Of course, ours were a give and take, and it's all bigay lang. Oo. It's all serve, it's all love, it's all fidelity, and that's it. No? Now, we have to look at it, and we have to plan for it, but it's over. Our time is over. We've launched the seed.
Pero ever since ba, planning nyo talaga, like when you were new parents, were you always planning na, my children, paglaki nila, kailangan men for other, kasi alam ko, atenista ka rin growing up, but intentional ba yun na kailangan pati mga anak natin, men for others?
Ay sa hindi. Kasi when I met Ditsi, it was in the picket lines for church reforms.
Oh, okay.
Lapvir. And when we were planning our family, all we wanted to do was really prepare for the children, the family that God will give us. But one thing was very definite in our lives, kasama namin pirmi siya. Siya at ang mahal na ina. So, we took the jump, the leap of faith, and just looking back, kung minsan sinasabi ng mga anak namin, the fruit doesn't fall far away from the tree. So, looking back after you gave us your inputs, etc., yeah, maybe that's when we recall the things that we have been in, the journey that we have made during the past 55 years of togetherness, and yung malaman kung paano namin nagawa yun. You know, kitang-kita mo ang galaw ng Panginoon eh. So maybe we can keep on discussing the details a bit later.
So ang narinig ko doon is that there's some, well, the mere fact that you met at the picket lines, parang ano na yun, parang tinadhana na ni Lord na may movement na kayo from the love story start pa lang. But even in your parenting, there's some unintentionality. I mean, you do what you do as a couple, parang unconsciously naipasa yun doon sa mga anak nyo.
I mean, we did not go into married life with no idea of marriage at all. We got our training, so to speak, from our parents. Ito yung sasaling life, pinasa sa amin. So, the principle that I took was we bring in the best into our marriage. And the things to be improved, medyo learn from it.
Yeah.
So that's how we started, and bahala ng Panginoon.
Yeah. But were your parents ba into social service also? Medyo active din ba sila?
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
My father, for example, Dr. Joaquin Sumpayco, after whom we were all named. Me and John G. and Joaquin.
How many Joaquins are in your
Apat
family?
na. Pero yun yung first name. Yung mga second name, marami pa rin Joaquin. He was sent by the government to Copenhagen to study how to bring and manufacture BCG vaccines. So he brought BCG vaccines to the Philippines. And we were even exporting BCG vaccines. This is to prevent death due to tuberculosis of infants way back. For 1 year, we missed him. So yung paninilbihan sa iba has been there. My mom is also a doctor, together with him sa BCG laboratory, the Bureau of Research of Laboratories.
I see.
So that's our line, teachers, doctors, etc. But it's just a different one.
Mine was totally different. My parents were dancers, they were actors, and they gave joy. They gave joy to the ones watching them. But one thing I got was that the love for the Blessed Virgin, I think I got that from my mother. And she always told me, wear it with sleeves, wear the sleeves. And she made me wear the, I don't know if
Lourdes.
Our Lady of Lourdes,
yung
yung blue
bell.
sash,
Oo,
blue
the
sash.
Yeah.
Every time I would go to Mass, I would wear that. And that, I think, remained in my consciousness.
And you're named after her.
Yes,
That's right.
yes. That remained in my consciousness, and all my children, I've tried to give them the love of Mary. And I guess I did quite well with the help of their father in instilling in them the love for the Blessed Mother.
I see. But also now the theater people are the ones who are very active
Yes.
as well, because my daughter's a thespian, and when every time like we watch plays, like especially PETA, very issue heavy ang kanilang mga themes in the play. So there is education also in the performance scene especially. But to also ask our young,
Yes.
the youngest, but not so young anymore, the representative of the millennials, how important is it knowing that you were also raised with that kind of sense of service? Did that come in, pinasabayan sa iyo ng parents mo, or namulat ka lang na realize mo, wait a minute, or is it the school? How did you get, with all the things that you do, especially for the environment and for the indigenous people, how did you get that sense?
I think it's when I look at my earliest memories, I think the first memory I had is a Christmas day. You know, you're given money, so may mga ampaw ka, right? I remember I had 500 pesos.
Wow,
And
malaki
I
na
was so
yun.
happy. And then Papa comes in and says, 10% of that you're giving it to the poor. And then Dav and I look at each other like, oh. And then he goes, but you're gonna come with me to pick who. So he brings us to PGH, and then he tours us through all the patients one at a time, and then we pick. And then at the end of it, because at the first we're like, do we have to go? We don't want to give her the money. And then at the end of it, we're like, okay, take the money.
This is Papa, your dad.
Yeah.
So dinala ka na sa
Yeah,
PGH
yeah.
at how old were you?
I was probably 7 or 8.
Oh wow. Okay.
Somewhere there. So it was very. That's the earliest memory I have of like exposing us to impact. But then it's a pattern. His dad, Lolo Dad had was always trying to do business to give jobs to his family who did not have the same educational background or skill set, and that paved the way for many graduates in the extended family. And then even in Ateneo, perhaps the ones that I enjoyed the most in high school, there's a program called TD, Tulong Duno,
Tulong Duno.
where we were asked to teach in public schools every week for a whole trimester. I enjoyed that. I really did. And I actually got in touch with one of the students who I was assigned to. That said, I don't think within my barkada, I don't know if they felt the same way about it. No? But definitely, there's that tone in the family, then there's that tone in school. It was easier to, be part of it. And I remember by the time I got into college here, we were supposed to go on an immersion to Bilibid Prison. And then, so the professor says, ay, kulang yung spots. Someone should stay behind. And I was like, okay lang, prof. Kasi nung high school, nag-volunteer program na ako doon. So I've been to Bilibid. I've been to the death row, to high, medium, low. So gets ko na yung story. Because Ateneo High would offer it, right? As a summer 3-day program. So I think offering these things is very critical. Because it I guess once is not enough. It needs to kind of seep in, so to speak, kind of keep watering the seed, if that makes sense. And I find myself doing that today for students that we try to raise with that compassion. Because competence without compassion is useless. It is devastating, to be honest. No?
Yeah.
And parang I guess I find the topic so relevant because the one thing that the world lacks innovation in is the innovation to educate on values.
Yeah.
There's so much hype about tech, blah blah blah. I'm like, yes, that's important, but if the driver is misguided, and we see many misguided drivers in society today, then the tech doesn't move us forward; it moves us back.
Oh,
And so I'll end with one last story because I remember I had a professor in MIT, and this is last year, and he was teaching MIT, and he was making a joke that he used to teach at Harvard, which is true. He really did, no, and then we asked him, so professor, what school were you from? And he said the school that he's from is the school where Martin Luther King graduated.
okay.
He's not in Harvard. And he said, and he just said, if you look at the graduates of that school and Harvard, the impact of these people are completely different because there's his school, I forget the name, but they pushed for values driven. Very similar, no? And so, looping it back here, back to your question, parang having it in the family, having it in school is so important. And we'd like to kind of empower the schools to have that system. Even if they don't have it in-house, at least around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good. I feel, bias aside, and that's why my kids are all going to Ateneo also, is we kind of get that here. Pero totoo, kung hindi mo tinanim sa bahay, kahit anong expose ng eskwelahan, walang magka-click. Hindi talaga yan magka-click. So yun yung tanong ko naman, balik, Tita Ditzy, Tito Jojo, meron ba kayo, well, una, pareho ba kayo ng parenting style? I know na sinabi ni Tito Jojo kanina na kung ano yung nakita with your parents, you pass it on, yung maganda, kokopyahin, yung hindi maganda, medyo pinapalitan. Pero nung nag-asawa ba kayo, pareho ba kayo ng inyong style in teaching, disciplining, parenting your 4 kids?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay, elaborate.
When we started, I was a community organizer in Tondo Forshoreland. And when we got married, sabi ko, Ditzy was already a teacher at St. Teresa's College. Sabi ko, maybe I should be the main breadwinner. So I joined corporate. And you know what it is when you work in corporate. You're out of the house by around 6:30, be at work at 8 o'clock, and you come in late. So most of the time, Ditzy is there with the children. Particularly since she would bring them to school when we were staying in Tahanan Village, hanggang sa Ateneo, St. Teresa's, and up to here. But we were fortunate in the sense that while we were away, we had a kasambahay who was with us for 18 years.
Wow, that's a blessing.
Yeah. And when we were out, siya parang second mother taking care of the needs of the children who were left at home. And we trusted her so much. She's kasama namin. Kasama namin sa pamilya. Now, iba eh. I was more of, I will not say the disciplinarian, pero I would let Ditsy talk. Pero when my children find out that I already am speaking, medyo natatahimik na sila. It's like that. And the roles change depending on the situation. Let me cite an example.
Yeah.
How do we allow our children to experience freedom? Lalo na when they're getting to know the opposite sex. Dr. TP, for example, she asked us, Tatay, Nanay, may party ako mamayang gabi ha. First time ito.
How old?
Siguro mga 17, 18.
17? Okay, okay.
First time. Tapos sabi niya, okay, we trusted her. Pinalaki namin siya, we trusted her. Then sabi na, usapan tayo, be back before 12. Una ko pala sabi, be back before 10. Tatay, nagsisimula pa lang ang party ng alas 10. Hindi ba alas 8? Anyway, fast forward. Hindi siya dumating ng 12. 11:30, nasa bahay na siya.
Wow.
So,
Sana all. Sana all. Ay, hindi naman.
so with that, you know that you can give her more, you can trust her more. And that's how it was built. And then the boys followed. So, learning from their ate, it becomes, nahahawa sila sa ugali, sa pag-uugali. And that's how, I guess, they grew.
I think malaking factor doon, alam ni TP nung maliit pa siya na malaki tiwala, ayaw masira. So that's, I think, valuable. Kasi ibang parents, ay, alam kong susuway ka. Pag may ganun ng attitude, nako, ganun pala eh. Kala mo, hindi ako responsabling anak. Sige, totohanin ko na yung inaakala mo sa akin. Parang ganun.
And in terms of physical punishment, namamalo rin ako. But I don't use chinelas, I don't use patpat or ruler. I use my hand. That way, pareho kami nasasaktan. And I tell them that. And I talk to them first, and then that's the time I would spank them.
That's interesting.
Pareho tayo nasasaktan, anak, masakit din para sa akin ito.
Iba naman, ibang tingin dyan. Kasi sabi nila, yung kamay daw pang himas, pang love. So, gumamit daw ng iba. I guess, that's your style. Para may punto naman yun. Habang Tita Ditsy, nakikita ko yung mukha ni Tita Ditsy. Habang nagsasalita, Tito Jojo nag-react.
I have a different style.
Oo, different. Alam ko different story, but different style.
I have a
Okay.
different style. I'm a talker. And I talk until they're fed up. But Jojo is quiet. But the moment Jojo speaks, I do talk. But the moment Jojo speaks, they're quiet. It takes a lot for a father to talk.
Yeah.
I in our lives, I get that as a value. And so what happens is I talk a lot. You know, I have this, I have to tell, I haven't talked about it, but from the time TP was born until she grew up to be a teenager, she has 2 other brothers. I asked her not to wear jeans.
Oh.
I'm sorry, TP, I did that to you. You're not supposed to have jeans.
Alam ko, 3 other brothers, hindi 2.
3 elder brothers. 3
other,
elder brothers. I didn't want her to act like a boy. And so she did not wear jeans the whole time. And she was such a resilient child. At that time, I thought she didn't think much about it. But I was wrong. When she was married, just very recently, she told me that she was bothered. And so I have it as a give and take. I have it as a trial and error, that wearing of jeans, but that's symbolic. So parents lie low. Jeans won't dictate your gender. So that was one.
Yeah. But in context, this was a late 70s, early 80s
Yes.
kind of parenting. Oh. So, medyo iba pa talaga yung panahon na yon. And you're doing what you think was
Right.
right at that time. So right now also, in related to that, I believe that, we on the line that Tita Dizzy is telling you, you shouldn't be afraid of, gender is not, it will be embraced, no? But it's not dictated on what we wear or the color that we wear,
Yes.
and all that. But allow your kids to, it's
Grow.
self-expression, yes, and personality too. Okay. So interesting. So the
Interesting.
talker and yes, it takes a lot. Some men, most men, takes a lot to talk, my husband included. But I don't know if with the likes of Raf, if talking is a problem, because I also know a lot of men friends who are more, this generation calls it yappers, more yappers than the women also. So the conversations at home. So while we're in the topic of communication, what helps in the value formation? What kind of conversations do you suggest? Have you done in your family? Have you experienced in your family that made you more stronger, resilient as a person? What helped in those conversations? And at the same time, not just look at your own pain, because especially kids nowadays, they go through so much. They say they're growing up in a VUCA world. Volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous world. Whatever that means. Pero all generation naman have their own challenges. Diba? Post-World War, the recession, the different kinds of issues. But every generation needs resilience. So what kind of conversations? Ano dapat yung mga klase na pag-uusap or pakikinig na dapat nararanasan na nangyayari sa bahay? Like, siguro let's start with Raf. Ano yung na-experience mo sa bahay? Bago mo sumagot, I will just time check, it's 10 a.m. Para sa mga nakikinig po sa ating sa radyo, time check, it's 10 a.m. But those who want to comment, ask questions on YouTube and Facebook, feel free to join our conversations. We will try our best to read it and read it out loud on air. And mga shout-outs din. Go ahead, Raf.
Maybe for resilience. I'll go back. Well, one, see, Papa was not a yapper. Mom would talk more. But when Pop would speak, we're all like, okay, he's talking. Keep quiet. I would say na ano eh. See, in resilience, I remember because I didn't have a lot of natural talent at studying. So, lagi akong pasang-awa in several subjects. So, there were two conversations. One was, Dad asked, why are you line of 7 only? And my response was, pumasa naman ako. And he said, hindi pwedeng pasado lang, dapat excellent. Galit siya. And then, another one, and it was in the same room, probably just months apart, was brown out. And then there was an exam tomorrow, and I had not studied, but I said, there's no electricity, I won't study. Okay, it's dark. I'll sleep na lang. And then he said, no, you're gonna study. He lit a candle, and then in his clinic, he just, come here, study now. And then he just forced me to study. So I was crying, I was studying. I passed naman the test. But, ayun, parang looking back at it, as like, it's a formative thing kasi it's parang he's imposing his will to teach me that the value of studying doesn't matter how hard it is. Kahit walang kuryente, kahit by candlelight, you study, no? You work hard on it. And I think that really rubbed off on me kasi eventually, because being exposed to hard times earlier, I was forced to, parang, I was like, oh, I've experienced this before, so I can do that. And you build your parang muscle towards that kind of hard, difficult time, no? Little by little. And I just look at schools now and the culture around it. parang it's the schools have better info, they have better tech, but I feel like the way that they're helping students build resilience is not, correct me if I'm wrong, but it might not be as deliberate or well thought of as expected. There's a bias towards information, towards making sure they're empowered to do things, and that's true. But part of the education is going through a tough time. Because if you can't simulate the tough time in school, then you'll fail outside. Definitely. And I think that's my kind of thought on that. So a little tough love is important.
Yeah. And encouragement. Kaya mo yan. No, what I heard is, yes, that's difficult, pero kaya mo yan. I guess that's an underlying message that your parents, especially our parents, can share to their children. You know, how about for the two
I
of
remember
you?
when the children were growing up, we had a common time for dinner. A common time for dinner. And we had a round table so we can see each other. And in fact, I'm trying to write down my notes mula from the point of view of the table. Marami narinig yung lamesang yan.
Only the table can talk, no?
Oo. So, iba-iba sila eh. So, there will be common time, family, etc., studies. Isa lamang po yung sinasabi ko sa kanila. Do your best. Do your best. Did you do your best? Hanggang sa mga apo namin, just do your best. And they know what that means. When they were growing up, inahatid ko sila, merong me time with one or two. That's the time when their own personal concerns are brought up. And I listen. So I take advantage of our trip, let's say from Loyola to Makati, the traffic, etc., to share. So it's really availability, not only as parents, not only as grandparents, but yung bang pagkakailangan ka nila, nandun ka. It's the presence that is very important. Hindi kasi makapag-rely masyado social media.
Yeah.
Kasi kumisan kailangan din ng face-to-face. You know?
Even up to now, no? You didn't. So parents, I hope you're taking notes, no? Despite the technology and also what Raf is saying, despite the tech, it's important, the content of the conversations, but in the first place, be there. Spend time, be deliberate, presence. So one-on-one, and that's good, no? One-on-one dates with each child allows that kind of airtime, audience, and sense of importance. Wow! Kahit 4 ang anak ni Daddy, meron siyang oras for me and me alone. Right?
Pero nga lang, before I turn it, ang pating roles namin nagbabago Raising our children. Tapos, seeing them grow as adults, iba ang pananaw dyan. From parents to friends.
Yes, yes.
At ngayon, na medyo we are now in our age of diminishment,
Yeah.
we have
Diminishment.
CICs,
What's CIC?
Commander-in-Chiefs,
Oh. Meaning,
Officer in Charge.
meaning sila na.
So, but we're there watching them from a distance.
And I don't
Because
think...
they're not ours, but from us also, in a sense.
But I don't think it's easy transition from parents to friends or pals or consultant if you didn't do the work when they were younger. Kung wala kayong na-build na connection. So, importante po rin yun, connect. When you connect, you'll have influence and then you'll stay in the loop. Kasi may nagsabi naman sa Matthew McConaughey, I saw a reel of his, no? If you want to stay in the loop with your kids, learn to pause. No judgment, but listen and make time for the kids. Tita, how about you?
I'll give you an example. During that time, boomers' time, Ateneo had good. Some parents saw that it was good. Other parents saw that it wasn't good. But they had this top 10. Top 10. I don't know
Yung
if
mga
you
awards,
had that.
awards,
Yes,
honors,
yes.
yeah.
And I'd always push my children to be top 10. And they were. They were. Now came a time when one of the children didn't make it. And I was so angry. But after some time, after listening to myself, I said, will it matter if your child is top 10 or not? Will you love him less if he is not? You know, that changed me. From that time on, I let loose. And from that time on, he was empowered. He was empowered. This is what I have to say, dear parents. Live your child in a happy mood. Give him joy. Give him the willingness to do as he would plan to do. Okay. Guide him, and nurture him. But let him be. Let him be. And you will love him more. And he will love you more.
So in other words, don't equate the value of your children to their grades. Nako
Yes,
po.
yes.
Especially now, it can cause so much stress to the children when they know that, oh, my parents' love is only conditional to the grades, merits, certificates, medals that I will bring home. Hopefully not. Hopefully with you, they see that they have unconditional love, trust, support, and belief. I believe in you na kaya mo yan. Also, shout out first tayo to Rose Tabi, who's been highlighting all the learnings for everyone. Thank you so much, Rose Tabi. Siyempre, kilala ko yan. And hello, good morning also to Lorna Buensesejo, Randall Tabayoyong, sino kaya yon? And my in-laws, Mama Luke, Papa Romy, hello sa inyong lahat. And meron po tayong question for both. What defines successful parenting or a truly resilient child in this day and age? No? Maybe the resilience during your kid's time is different. The resilience during the generation that you see now is different. And I'm curious to see, she's curious to see differing points of view and maybe definition of success. Nung panahon namin kasi successful parents, kasama na nga yan. Marami kang awards, marami kang friends, sikat ka, at you land on a good job that is financially benefiting. But ngayon, what is successful parenting? Or what is resilience? What kind of resilience is required or defined as?
Maybe on the topic of resilience, I was thinking, kasi so maybe we can define it in two ways. There's a resilience where there's something attacking you, or it's a very aggressive environment, and you have to be resilient with that. So perhaps with the VUCA you mentioned, kids today are growing up in that, like declining climate, economy's going down, etc. No? But there's also resilience in when it's comfortable. And what's creeping in is the inability to work hard. So you need to be resilient against, and you have to guard against that also. So I feel like parang parents have to know, of course, every context is different, pero parents have to be able to guard against those two contexts. Too comfortable or too hard. Parang dapat balanced. And dami kasing information today, so they really have to put things in context.
Yes.
They have to talk more. If not, someone else will talk for them.
Yeah.
In that sense, no? And then
to filter those information, dami. Hindi mo na alam which is reliable and which is true or not.
And then kasi I think what's defining Gen Alpha today, and I see it in my friends also, and in my teammates who are younger in Gen Z, is there is a effort to disconnect and then to seek out what is real or what is authentic. And so it relates to presence. Being present with this person. Phone is not enough. Call is not enough.
Disconnect from technology.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. There's a real conscious effort to disconnect. Or if they're not conscious about it, pag binigyan mo sila ng face-to-face encounter, the happiness is just 10 times, 100 times better in that sense now. And they remember things more. So I think that's those are those are important in that sense, no? And then just to touch on success, kasi I remember before, parang growing up, there was always this unspoken I guess guideline or rule that if you're in the arts, you're gonna have a hard time, right? But that's no longer true today. Like our art economy is huge, and I would say that even our companies, what I'm doing now, in large part, is because you have to mix art into whatever you're doing. That's the standard today, no? And so, parang it's redefined, no? In that sense, how it is, and parang yeah, money is one thing, but there's also a lot of there are a lot of other things that you can gauge a successful person from. Is this person keeping their family healthy, emotionally or physically? Are they parang helping other people and they're doing it in a righteous way? Are they just leaders of good character? I mean, there's so many ways to do it, no? And I feel like the danger with looking at grades only is that it leads to looking at money only, and those are metrics that never indicate your value system, which is what you really want in a
The true essence.
correct. You can't have a successful child if they don't have that. You can't be a
Yeah.
successful parent if they don't do good in that world, no? And so the school systems are also starting to take on an answer to that particular call. So there are non-graded school systems with
Yeah.
some traditional methods
Yeah.
yet, but dumadami sila basically. No? So I think
Especially yung mga progressive, Montessori type, na more qualitative ang assessments, where you are.
right. So yun.
Okay.
Those are my thoughts
Thank
on it.
you. Thank you for that. And to chime in also on the arts, nowadays with everything dictated on you, the way you think, those with original imagination and higher imaginations are the ones who stand out now. So, importante talaga that the right brain, tama ba? The right brain is still very much active. Thank you, Raf. How about for you? What is measure for success then and now? What do you think?
I just have one simple. Know yourself. Know yourself. And then know the environment where you are and match it. Match it. But there's a spirituality that goes into it. So know yourself, know the environment, and know where the place of God is. I don't teach that to my children in a sense, no? But I make them see by my doing, and they will follow. And I've seen that in my own children, not in my apos, because kayo na ang bahala sa
Bahala
mga
na
anak
sila.
nyo.
Oo nga eh.
Oo.
So a lot of modeling. What I'm
A
hearing
lot
from
of
Tita
modeling.
Ditzy is there's a lot of modeling, implied
Yes,
teaching
yes.
by what your kids see with you, which is more good sense of who you are, good sense of where God planted you, your
Yes,
environment,
yes.
and God's leading.
Yes.
So discerning
Know where God wants you to be.
beautiful. Yes, Tita
Ako
Jo.
siguro, I will tackle it from the point of view of relationships.
Ganda. Isang spiritual,
Mas-
isang more
Hindi,
on where you were
duktong
placed.
tuhog yan eh. Parang
Oo nga.
barbecue yan.
Galing. Galing.
Hindi ba sa Discovery Weekend sinasabi natin, what is the definition of authentic love?
Yes.
When the satisfaction, when the development of the other is more important for you than your own satisfaction, development, then that's true love. But yun ang nasa tinuro sa atin. But we have to act. We have to put it into action. Authentic love cannot be kept within oneself. It has to be shared. And now looking back, nung maliliit kami, walang mga cellphones pa eh. Para magpag-usap ka, makipaglaro ka sa kapwa mo, bata. Laro kayo, magtaguan kayo, habulan text,
Magpawis kayo, magputika
patintero
kayo, amoy araw ka.
Pag umulan, maligo kayo sa kalye, whatever. Then, fast forward, tinitignan din namin ang mga relationships. Pakita mo sa akin mga kaibigan mo, malalaman ko kung gaano sila kahusay, kabait, etc. Kung paano rin sila pinalaki ng kanilang mga magulang. In fact, yung bahay namin, naging headquarters yun, mga study groups. Minsan may pajama, nag-aaral sila, tapos mamaya pajama na kayong gano'n na sa lanay. Magdamag sila doon. Cardinal rule, kung mag-iinom kayo sa bahay, huwag sa labas. Para nakikita din namin. Now, as professionals, yung mga relationships nila with their patients, with their employees, with their peers, tinitingnan din namin. And I would say, ang galing ng Panginoon.
You did a good job.
Ang Panginoon muna. So, ano yan eh.
Uwi na tayo. Sila dalawa para sa nag-honeymoon.
Kanino
Ang
napulot ito? Kaya, going back nung inimbitan namin ng Panginoon, nakasama namin sa aming buhay mag-asawa, hindi niya kami pinabayaan. Kaya, siguro, madalas kong sabihin sa kay Ditsi, magsisilbi tayo hanggat kaya.
Right. I guess that sense of service also comes from the fact that you've been blessed so much. So, parang paying forward and serving others. So, also with relationships nyo sa mga anak nyo, and therefore relationships din nila sa kanilang future anak, future kliyente, future pasyente, and all that they will be brought to them as well. So that's
I have one more thing.
Yes, Tita.
Fidelity. Fidelity has been given to us, and we want to pay it forward.
Yes.
Fidelity from the Lord,
Yes.
fidelity from each other, fidelity from the earth. Fidelity.
Ang laki-laki yung part ng, in my sense, no, yung awareness of God in your life. Sa role ng play niya sa pagiging magulang yung dalawa in your children. I don't know if that's also the case in the Junicio residence as well. I know that there's a lot of listening, maybe yung how God parented us, we mimic God the Father, Mama Mary as the mother also, and that will help them be stronger or be stronger individuals. So yun yung tanong ko. In this day and age, na it's so hard to prove an invisible God.
Yes.
In this highly technological world, although ako personally, lagi ko yung kino-compare the way I introduce God to the kids, kahit invisible. Bakit Wi-Fi? Nakikita nyo ba Wi-Fi? Paano nyo alam na may Wi-Fi? Kasi may signal sa phone niya. Ganun din si Lord. Paano mo nalaman nandiyan si Lord? Kasi nandiyan ka. Tayo yung ginawa niya. Pero doesn't mean we don't see Him. Doesn't mean He's not there. So, how important, maybe as one of our last few questions, how important is spirituality in building resilience? Number one, how important is spirituality in creating a sense of service to His people? May role ba yan? Or pwedeng it can be on its own? O hindi naman pala kailangan? Kasi kita ko naman, nagsiserve ka naman, okay na yun. Hindi naman kailangan si Lord doon sa lugar. Maybe, Tito Jojo, if you can start. And I think, ako, while you were talking earlier, naririnig ko si Father Ruben. And I know you're one of the Rubenites na maraming pinasa. And kami rin sa CEFAM, lagi niyan sinasabi yan. Kami na umabot na naturuan ni Father Ruben, very blessed. Love plus justice equals peace. Diba? Yung mga kaklase ko na nanonood, check pa ba kayo dyan? So, can you elaborate more on that?
Importante kasi kung saan tayo humuhugot ng lakas para makapanilbihan. Wala namang iba kundi sa ating Panginoon. Kaya, saan kami humuhugot? Sa Kanya pangako. Which is, hindi kita iiwan magpakailanman. I will always be there till the end of your life. At yun ang sinabi niya Keep on, go. Hindi man niya tayo pababayaan. Kaya nga niya tinawag siyang Emmanuel, di ba? God always with us. Ayun ang pinanghahawakan. Kasi we're perfectly imperfect. Kaya sa mga kakulangan namin, siya nagpupuno. Kung magtataka ka na lang, paano nangyari dun eh. Ang mga nangyari sa naranasan namin. But it has always been God and our Mother Mary. Buong-buo ang pangangalaga nila. So, yun, pasasalamat talaga sa Panginoon. The gift of life, the being able to serve other people. Kanya lahat ito.
I think I'd like to go back to where I started, the seed. The seed was watered, was cared for, and it grew. And I'd like to say that my children are now in the sandwich state. They take care of us, but they take care of their own children.
Teenagers, some of them.
And there are two batches. One batch, the older, are my adult grandchildren. Yes, from TP. And the rest are the midway, the two others, and the babies. And so, it's the sandwich generation. I'd like to thank you, my children, for being the seed that was watered and planted. And for that, I'm always grateful because it talks of the fidelity of God. KSP.
And we're proud of them and their
KSP?
accomplishments.
KSP is
Kapit sa Panginoon.
Kapit sa Panginoon. O, yan ha. Notes. Yes. How about you, Ralph? How important do you feel is God or spirituality in building resilience and a sense of service?
I think in the context of parang where how people are taught today and how media moves, I feel like a lot of the stories are important because you never quite forget the stories. You forget the lesson, and so parang at least the spirituality is exposed to had a lot of stories like farmers, fisher folk, helping others, right? Additionally, there's another angle to it kasi there's spirituality that is non-critical and there's spirituality that is. And I think the other side of spirituality that I would suggest is, and I guess this would be regardless of what what religion you follow, but it would be more of you have to teach them how to reflect and discern also, because parang blind faith can also kind of lead you to decisions that are like out of context also in that sense. So I think that's really important, that ability to reflect and to do it in the context of spirituality where the value systems are taught, right, through stories, through examples. Yun.
Yeah.
It's really action part eh.
Yeah.
Pagka nakikita ng mga bata, ang involvement namin, tatay, hindi na kayo, na naman. Ganun talagang paninilbihan.
pero hindi. Nung bata-bata sila, naiinis sila. Bakit laging wala sa bahay?
Wala. Oh, that's also...
But they go through it.
Well, that's also a warning to people in community. Also na learn to balance your time for service, for your apostolate, and your children. Kung hindi, pagseselosa ng mga anak nyo ang inyong community at inyong volunteer work, no? So that's very important. Meron po tayong question while we're in that, and maybe this can be our last question. How can we encourage spirituality among children today? While families and schools play important roles in fostering a prayerful life, there still appears to be room for growth in this area. It's essential to find more meaningful and engaging ways to nurture children's spiritual development in a way that resonates in their everyday experience. That's coming from Miss Geraldine Batino Bakiran. Hello.
I'd like to answer that first, no? In rituals, families should have rituals. And in this ritual, there is a prayer. There is a prayer. It's not called a prayer. For instance, the ritual of being together at meals, and you pray before you eat the meals. For instance, now it's Christmas time, the ritual of going to Mass together before, as a preparation for the coming of the Savior. Yung little things that will grow, that is necessary for your build-up.
Just a short input. Ang gusto kong subukan ngayon, itong gusto ni Lolo Kiko na pagawa sa atin as a way of life natin, itong spiritual conversations. Maganda sigurong subukan ng mga pamilya yon. A time for reflection muna. Tungkol, kunyari, meron kayong ritual. Anong ibig sabihin ito? Mag-reflect muna. Pagkatapos nun, makinig tayo sa isa't isa. At mula sa pakikinig, makikita na namumuo kung saan tayo nagkakaisa-isa. At yun ay sa buhay natin. Maganda sigurong pamamaraan yun. Itong gusto ni Lolo Kiko para sa atin lahat.
Parang ganito, kwentuhan lang naman. So, parang apat lang tayo, kunyari walang ibang
Meron ba ibang tao dito?
Wala lang. Tayo lang. Yes. Raf.
Siguro, yung hinahanap ng tao ngayon, hindi salita, hinahanap nila gawa. And so, I would say, for parents, the unfortunate reality is you have to go out of your comfort zone. But that's where values are forged, outside of your comfort zone. And parang whatever you teach them in school has to be practiced in real life. Kasi ano yan eh. Diba there's a saying parang talk is cheap. The other saying is monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
Right? So, yun. Have to come up with those opportunities.
Sabi ni Jesus, whatever you do to the least of my brothers, when you fed the hungry, when you clothed the naked, when you visited the sick, when you visited the imprisoned, right? And they're not at home. They're not on your social media. They're not on your cell phones. You have to go out. You have to act. No? So love in action. What do you call that? Love plus justice equals peace. Father Ruben, we're praying for you. We're living your teachings. I hope you're proud of us too, and pray for us too. And at the same time, ako as a parent of Gen Zs, the rituals, yes, and then including especially for the Catholics, if they understand the why. Why do we hear Mass? What is the Eucharist all about? It's an opportunity to be with the physical Christ every day, every time we go there. It's not just a symbol. It's really Christ Himself alive now. Where is God in your life? You testify. You big and small miracles in your life. There's so many big miracles with me and my husband that we talk about with our kids. But even the small miracles like finding parking, give credit that to the Lord because it's really impossible nowadays, right? Being safe in these times, all of those testify. Again, it starts at home. The schools can only do so much. It can only water whatever seed we will plant sa bahay. Sa bahay po muna. Yeah.
I remember in grade 1, catechism, Baltimore Catechism under Cardinal Morrow. And now in our age of diminishment, parang ito lang nagiging importante. Our main purpose in life, to know, love, serve God,
Yes.
to be with Him forever in the next.
Yes.
Paano natin isa sa buhay yun? Kanya-kanya na. Basta, Panginoon, may resibo ko.
Tsaka depende kung anong binigay ni Lord. Naku, hindi ko napansin ang oras. 10:30 na po pala. But I hope everybody has been learning or tuning in and getting something. Kasi ako mismo maraming pumapasok sa isip ko. But to close our conversation, I'd just like to share a verse from the letter of St. Paul to the Colossians, chapter 3, which states, "Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward." You are serving the Lord Christ in everything we do. And I guess the success part of parenting is if we bring all our children to heaven. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's our job here on earth, to prepare each other to love, mercy, compassion with action. Right? So everybody will bring heaven here on earth. Wala nang mga corrupt, no? Lahat ng services na bibigay, 'di ba? Wala kailangan maghirap, diba? So, if we do our part, we will really make that possible, His heaven here also on earth. So, with that, I'd like to thank our guests, Tita Ditzy, Tito Jojo, the Sumpaykos, and of course, the Raf Dionisio for giving us time and sharing yourself, your insights to all our viewers. We'd just like to also remind everyone to join the Discovery Weekend. We have our next one on November, the second Saturday of November. So go to our page, discoveryweekend.org, to check our schedules. But we also have a mentoring program, Dialogue About Frustrations, on October 26 Sunday here at the CEFAM building, 3 p.m. You can also go and to our Facebook page, our website, to check the schedules, and hopefully you can join us too. So with that, thank you so much for everyone who tuned in, who shared their comments and questions. We hope that you have been blessed despite everything that's happening in the world today. We'll see you again next Monday, and hopefully through a little bit of our conversation here in Radyo Katipunan, we have sparked a little joy in your lives. So thank you, and have a good day. Bye.
What keeps a family shining? It's that spark, the bond between spouses, the wisdom of parents, and the dreams of children. And guess what? We're turning that spark into a show. Introducing SPARC, Spouses, Parents, and Children. Only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. A program filled with real talk, life hacks, inspiring stories, and yes, even the fun and laughter that keep families strong. So tune in, light up your day, and let's celebrate what makes every family shine. SPARC, Spouses, Parents, and Children. Only on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Your campus, your community, your spark of inspiration.